What the fuck is
What are you arresting him for?
Why can't you just let me go?
What are you arresting him for?
Why can't you just let me go? I'm standing on a fucking sidewalk. I'm eating my breakfast. My shoulders. I have bad shoulders. I have bad shoulders.
This is not right.
The officers grouped around me and grabbed me by my shoulders as I had a full mouth of food in my mouth, full mouth of food, and pulled me away off of the sidewalk into the Dundas Square as I was choking and asking the officers, why are you arresting me? I'm just eating my breakfast. I'm just eating my breakfast.
Warning, censorship.
Today, I'm bringing you the story of Robert Potter. Robert is one of the many people we are helping through our campaign at fightthefines.com. Robert needs our help to crowdfund against 2 tickets he received at an anti-lockdown protest back in January. He received a $1,130 ticket for obstructing a public health order and another $880 ticket for failing to comply with a health order, grand totaling over $2,000 worth of tickets. Check out the footage from his arrest.
Now you guys, this is criminal harassment.
I have no lawful
I'm going to
reason to arrest that man.
don't give him either. Say no thank you, I refuse to contract.
You have no lawful reason to arrest that man. You have no lawful reason to arrest that man.
Come on, fuck. This is the reality. I can't fucking afford to find the asshole.
This is fucking disgusting.
Toronto police arresting protesters in Yonge-Dundas Square.
What the fuck is
What are you arresting him for?
Why can't you just let me go?
What are you arresting him for?
Why can't you just let me go? I'm standing on a fucking sidewalk. I'm eating my breakfast. My shoulders. I have bad shoulders. I have bad shoulders.
This is fucking not right. I know they are.
You guys are disgusting. Wait till your rights are taken away.
What the hell? I can't even eat breakfast on my sidewalk.
Robert wants to share with you his side of the story and why we chose Robert to help fight these tickets. So it's a couple months back that the incident took place, January 16th, 2021. At the time, we are at a stay-at-home order, similar to what we're experiencing right now. So you're downtown Toronto. Why don't you tell us what happens next?
Yeah, I was going down the street on Yonge Street on my bicycle. As I was approaching Yonge-Dundas Square, there was a group of bicyclist officers. There's at least 6 to 8 of them. As I approached the bicyclist officer on the rear right corner, I came shoulder to shoulder and said, "Hello, officers. I back the blue. May you tell me, is this where the anti-lockdown protest is taking place?" And the officer replied, he says, "Yes, it is. But if you go, you're going to get a ticket." So, okay, well, I didn't reply to speak back to that officer. I just pedaled and continued on. Once the light turned green, I went onto the sidewalk and I had my breakfast with me. I pulled out my breakfast. I started eating my breakfast on the sidewalk. As I was eating my food, the officer chose to ask me for my identification, and knowing that I'm going to be getting a fine with the ticket book out, I turned my shoulder politely and continued eating my breakfast. And within about a few seconds to half a minute later, the officers grouped around me and grabbed me by my shoulders as I had a full mouth of food in my mouth, full mouth of food, and pulled me away off of the sidewalk into the Dundas Square as I was choking and asking the officers, why are you arresting me? I'm just eating my breakfast. I'm just eating my breakfast.
I'm eating my breakfast.
As the officers I was continuing asking the officers, "Please, officers, why don't you just let me go? I'm just eating my breakfast. Why don't you just let me go?"
Why can't you just let me go?
What are you arresting him for?
Why can't you just let me go?
And that's right when they heavily tackled me down for just standing on the sidewalk by myself, socialist distancing, eating my breakfast. This was my first time going to check out the anti-lockdown protest. So I think the officers purposely chose to nail me, thinking that they were going to scare me, but it didn't. It just made me an every time Saturday attender, because I even know now, for what I experienced as a kid living in post-communist Romania, experiencing it, I know what's happening, and I have even more of a reason to be able to go out and fight for our freedom.
So you received one ticket for failing to comply with a health order for $880 and another ticket for obstructing a health order for $1,130. Robert, we're sorry you had to deal with that situation. Both those tickets combined is over $2,000. We don't want you to pay those tickets. We're going to crowdfund your legal fees, and we'll fight those tickets for you at fightthefines.com. How does that sound?
That sounds great. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate everything that you guys go through and what the police and through our government is putting you guys through and putting us through, because we are a family. We're just one big family. We have all the same beliefs. We have the same opinions, the same values as Canadians.
I'm joined here by Victoria Solomon. Now, Victoria is our legal coordinator here at Rebel News. Victoria, when you watch that video, what comes to mind from a legal standpoint?
Well, first, this is a person with special needs. He has multiple disabilities, and we can see from the video that he was tackled by multiple police officers within seconds of making an informal request for identification. He didn't have a chance to finish chewing the food that was in his mouth before he was brought down, and it's actually lucky that he didn't choke. So when Mr. Potter came to Rebel News for assistance, he didn't know how to fight this ticket, and so he missed the deadline for challenging it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to ask the court to reopen his case so that his ticket won't fall into default and be sent to collections. And later we are going to review the Crown's case and ask questions such as, why was he detained? Why did police use excessive force to the extent of breaking his watch and hurting his shoulder? And we've hired a criminal lawyer. His team is looking into all these issues and into reopening this case.
If you want to help us help Robert fight this ticket, please go to fightthefines.com, where you can donate to our campaign, which is through a registered Canadian charity called the Democracy Fund, meaning you will be eligible for a tax credit to offset the cost of the donation. Like I said earlier, guys, if you're hit with a COVID ticket that is over $880, please head to that website, fightthefines.com. We'll get you a lawyer, and we'll fight that ticket for you. Thanks for watching, guys. If you or anyone you know has been hit with one of these bogus COVID-19 fines, reach out to us at fightthefines.com. We'll get you a lawyer, and we'll fight that ticket for you.